Hey guys, in this session, we're going to go over generating a mesh deployment for an Aerez managed router service. So the first thing to do is to find a subscriber that you would like to add a wireless mesh to. So we're going to go into licenses, find a license that we want to, a managed router that we want to add a mesh deployment for, and we'll click on that license detail page. So inside here, it may look a little bit different for you, whether this one's already in the field and turned on. Ours is offline right now. We're just going to pre-add a mesh deployment for this one, so yours might look slightly different. And the way to do it now is to go into the wireless tab at the top, and then you'll see here there are no mesh units assigned. Before we can add a mesh unit, two things need to be considered. First, you must use a router board that has AC Wi-Fi on it. That means it has both a 5 gig and a 2.4 gig radio. So models that have that are RB952s, 962s, anything with AC in the title, cap AC, map AC, and hap AC. And so the thing to do before you click add mesh unit, you'll notice if you click add mesh unit, it's going to throw an error if you haven't set up the frequency settings yet. So first thing we need to do is fill out and submit the frequency settings. All right, so first thing you need to do is make sure that the 5 gig radio is enabled and turned on by selecting yes. Next thing up, you need to select the channel width and the frequency. And so if you wanted to avoid some interference from other Wi-Fi, you could drop the channel width down to 20 and change the frequency from auto to a manually selected range. And then click update 5G. And it's going to take you back to the main license screen. And so we'll click on wireless tab again, and we should see that our Wi-Fi has been updated, and now we're able to add a mesh unit. And so click the mesh unit plus button, and it's going to walk through the deployment instructions again. And now we can copy and paste this information into a defaulted router with no default configuration. So you'll notice here, step 3, click System Reset Configuration. You must select no default configuration and then confirm that. So this one's a little different than deploying a Ether 1 router out of the box. The other thing to keep in mind is that you should not use Control-C and Control-V inside a Winbox. Make sure to do a right-click and copy and right-click paste. And once you've done that, you'll see the router status up at the top. If it's in range of the main unit, it will connect, come online, check for a firmware update, and get all of its provisioning from the provisioning server, as long as it can connect to the main unit and get onto the internet. So once it comes online, you'll be able to go to main mesh unit. So then click on the wireless tab, and you'll be able to see the mesh units that have been added to this deployment. And you'll notice here we've got a signal strength in decibels and the rate that's available for that mesh unit. And we've got some little happy faces and angry faces to let you know at a glance whether this looks good or bad. Now once you've looked at the mesh unit here, you can click the orange devices on the unit button, and that will display all of the devices that are currently connected to that mesh unit. So you can see that one doesn't have any, and if we check mesh office, there should be at least one device on that guy. So there we go. We've got a PC named Frigid that is wired on port Ether 2 of that mesh unit to a computer. So that wraps up all of the how to deploy a mesh device, and we'll see you next time.